right here. All right. Just want to make sure that we're all working audio-visual wise. Now, as I said, if the internet doesn't play friendly, then I will go ahead and start making some adjustments. I might even come off camera, okay? But you should still be able to see me, or hear me, sorry, and be able to see the slide deck. As I said, this is me, and I am thrilled to be here. As I said, I am very much proud to be a military brat, and happy National Military Brat Day. Wonderful. Maria, thank you. It's Maria, right? I just want to make sure I didn't see an L there. You have to see this is like an 8-point font that it shows me over here. I just want to make sure that you can see everything. I can see everything too. All right, let's go ahead then and play a little bit more. I'm going to come here. Let's go to the next one. Shout out, what is your business role? So let's start with the Navy. If you will let me know, Navy, go ahead and vote here. What's your business role right now? Because I'd like to make sure that I am customizing this for you. I want to go as fast or as slow as you need me to be. So just let me know, what is your business role? And if you're not sure where to vote, if you just came in, because I did see a couple people come in, you'll go to menti.com and you'll use the code 30297070. All right, Army. How about Army? All right, we've got some owners here. Got some who are forming a business too. Wonderful. Well, this is going to be really helpful to you because you're going to get ahead and not make mistakes or get into any bad habits, because who's got time to waste, right? That's the biggest challenge we have as small business owners, is that we may have great ideas, but we run out of cash flow, right? Before we're able to make something come to fruition or to see the success and the fruits from our labor. All right, Air Force. If we've got anybody associated with Air Force, this could be the Air National Guard. It could be the Air Force Reserve. It could be the U.S. Air Force, whether you yourself are a veteran or a family member, because you are there supporting them. Please let me know. So we got somebody who's a representative here, so support as well. All right, Coast Guard, Marines, hoorah. All right, let's go. Okay, we got a realtor here. So a realtor, I would say you're a professional. John, you're a realtor. So Air Force, realtor. Definitely, you're a professional at what you do. Professional could be a doctor, a real estate agent, or a realtor. Could be a chiropractor, a dentist. It could be a therapist. Okay. All right, this gives me a good idea of where to focus what I'm talking about with you today and what I'm sharing. All right, but feel free to use that question box to let me know exactly what it is that you need that would be helpful to you. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. Let me take this actually off here so it's not in our way. All right. This here is Susie Mills, and I love Susie because she was actually discovered by one of our Google trainers, and that's what I am. I'm a professional Google trainer, and what we do know with her is that she is just one of several, to about 250,000 service members who transition from the military every year, and those transitioning out of service most of them are interested in starting their own business. In fact, 25%. So we see about 2.5 million veteran-led businesses that are existing in the U.S. today. And Susie Mills, as I told you, she actually served in the U.S. Air Force for 8 years. And she decided that she wanted to offer veterans and civilians a way to holistically take care of themselves, as well as keep their body and their spirits in good health. So she opened up back in 2013, Honest Soul Yoga in Alexandria, Virginia. So she expanded that business, and last year, in fact, she even started a retail boutique, which is pretty amazing, and then also complemented that with yoga classes in 2 locations. And as you know, especially since there are many in here who are owners and managers, that starting a new business may be very challenging. For those of you forming businesses, you know that might be the reason why you're here today. You have this dream, this desire, what you know is your good superpower, that you want to be able to support others as well as support your family and community, and you've come here to do this. So one of the things that we have to ask ourselves as a small business owner is, how are we going to connect with our customers? Today, that's what we're going to talk about. How can we find them, and how can, most importantly, they find us? Because if you're not visible, they can't do business with you. This is really key. And part of being visible is utilizing a Google My Business profile. Now, I would like to know, with a show of hands, in the actual chat, or I call it a chat box, but it's a question box. So forgive me, I will go between utilizing both of those. But will you let me know by raising your hand? So just using the raising your hand to be able to let me know if you already have a Google My Business profile. We're also going to want you to stand out for your veteran-led attribute, and I'll show you how to do that. And the reason to do that is because there's a lot of loyalty there. I know I have that. I prefer looking for veteran-led more than anything else, and that's just because that's, where I grew up. I grew up on an Air Force base, going to a DoD school. I'm used to taps at 5 o'clock. My first job was at the commissary. My second job was at the BX. So everything that I did was all on base. That was my life, and that's where I like to be able to work with somebody who has that same basically experience that we can share, even though it may be at a different location. We'll talk about more tools that can help you improve your profile, as well as additional resources. What if you don't know? No worries. I will make sure that I will cover with you how you can find out. So great question. And I'm going to say, is it Johanny? I wish we were, this is when I wish I can hear you, because you would correct me and let me know for sure, and I get a hold of it. All right. So if you're not sure, let me see. I do see some people. Let's see, raising her hands. Okay, Joanne. Perfect. She gave me phonetic spelling, everybody. This is awesome. This is the realtor you want to work with, because she'll slow down and explain things, even simple questions like how to pronounce your name, right? Joanne. Thank you, Joanne. I appreciate that very much. So if you're not sure, I'll show you how to take a look and see. Very good, everybody. Really, really good. So here's what it looks like when you are on your mobile phone looking at it, because we know that 76% of people go to their mobile phone first. It was about 50-50 in March 2020, and that significantly shifted as the whole world shifted and went to mobile first. So knowing that, we need to make sure that everything we're doing, even when I'm working with people who are doing website design, needs to be designed for mobile first, because that's the experience people have of you. And your digital presence, your digital first impression is just like any other first impression. It is lasting. In fact, it takes us 56. Let's pause there for a moment. 5-6 other contact times to change a first impression. That's not 56 minutes or 56 introductions or emails or notes, nothing like that. It's 56 other contact times. And when you're busy being butcher, baker, and candlestick maker in your business, you don't have time to put these obstacles that will delay you, because time is more valuable than money. We all only have 86,400 seconds in any given day. We've got to make the most of it. One of the tools that can help you get there is with a Google My Business profile. So you'll see here on a mobile device is you can see the name, you can see the photos and videos there, so it gives a nice visual branding. You get an overview, which gives you a good look at basically the about us of the business and what the business can do to help and support you. Reviews, because we want that third-party validation. Quick links to some of the other digital properties available for this business, and then also the location of the business, because we do need to be able to know, especially if we're looking for somebody who's locally or close by that we can connect with. And don't put a poo-poo on local marketing, because it's still very important, and in fact it's where I encourage people to start. Why this is important is because if you don't exist online, people can't do business with you. So let me slow this down for a minute and ask you 3 questions. I'm not going to ask you to respond to these unless you want to in the question box, but I want you to really think about this, because this is for you. And number 1, if they don't know, or they know your name, let's put it that way. If they know your name, someone knows your name, they know that you've got a product or service that can help them. How are they finding you currently? What's the way that people are looking? Are they Googling you? Are they going on their Facebook page and saying, hey, or going to your Facebook page and connecting with you? Are they texting you? Are they going to the Greater Philadelphia Veterans Network and looking at a list of members? What are they doing? How are they finding you? Now, the second question is, if they don't know your name, so they don't know you exist, but they know there's a product or service that can serve them, how are they looking for you? What are some of the tools that they're using? Are they going on social networks and just shouting out? Because I have seen people do that. I need a pediatric dentist. Anybody have a recommendation? And they'll shout that out because they don't want to take their kiddos to be the guinea pigs. They want to ask somebody else. So they shout out the recommendations. Word of mouth mostly. Yes, absolutely, Gary. Word of mouth is the way to go. Do know that online digital connection is word of mouth on steroids. So that hasn't changed. It's still the oldest form of advertising, but yet we are digitally doing things differently as we connect with people. So that has just absolutely exponentially increased word of mouth to be able to have that digital reach. The third question, though, is if they don't know your name, and they don't know that you have a product or service, or there's any product, service, or solution that can serve them, how are they looking for you? How are they finding you? This is really important for us as business owners because this is our job as professionals in our industry, to do the heavy lifting and connect the dots for people when they're looking for a solution to their need and to be able to find us. We really need to be experts at their decision journey. And I see, Joanne says, looking at referrals. I understand that. Absolutely. I'm a big fan of referral marketing, and I think it's a great way to go. I do know that it changed a little bit in 2020 to be able to follow up with people, because even trying to send a personal note was tough to do, to even thank somebody for a referral because they weren't in an office to pick up that personal note, right? So a little bit more challenging, but it is definitely the most powerful way to connect. And you need to know how people are searching for you, because right now they go here first. They go in here, they type in a keyword, which is called a search term, but it's also called a keyword or a phrase. Because we do voice search now and say, hey, Google, hey, Alexa. We shout out, and we don't just speak in broken words. We say, hey, Google, hey, Alexa, I need to find a pediatric dentist. Or do you know somebody who can put braces on a 14-year-old? That's the way they are searching, and we need to know what words they're using. The reason we need to know what words is because the first part of Google's algorithm in an organic search is deciding what is relevant to what somebody is looking for. So relevance is how well you match with what somebody's searching for. If you're using the words and phrases that they are looking for, now you're going to match. That's the fish where the fish are mentality. We're going to show up. They're already looking at this place. It's a lot of money to try to convince them to go anywhere else. Let's meet them where they're at and be able to connect and show how we can provide solution and maybe a product or service that they didn't realize exists. Plus ourselves, we're able to do that. Now, the reason I bring this up is because the number one search phrase, just so that you know, if you were in tech support, if you provided IT tech support, the number one search phrase is, I hate my computer. So it's not tech support, it's not IT help, it's not home computer repair, it's I hate my computer. If in your digital properties, all the things that you have, your website, your Google My Business profile, maybe even your profile for your social networks, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever you're utilizing, you don't use the words, I hate my computer, you're not going to show as relevant to the person that is searching for you. And the reason that matters is because 98% of people will not look past the first 3 pages of an organic Google search. So every page of a Google search gives about 10 organic search results. You'll see some ads in there, you'll see other things, but you will also see 10 organic search results. And most people won't look past the first 3 pages. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I've worked with a lot of small businesses, and they'll tell me, Maria, I'm on Google, I show up on page 7. And I hate to share with them that, you know what, that's great, but that means nobody sees you unless they're planning to hunt you down. They don't see you, so you don't exist. And if you don't exist, they can't do business with you. So searching for professionals in a given category is also how Gary's found as well. Absolutely. So you want to make sure you're showing up there, Gary, in the first 30 organic searches. And it's not bad to dominate those first 30 searches. When I say dominate, you want to at least show up somewhere there. But I highly encourage and work with businesses to dominate that. When I say dominate, maybe the first is the first organic result is your website and maybe a blog post. And then maybe your Google My Business profile is showing right up here or also on Maps. And now you also have another blog post you wrote, and maybe it's your Twitter account, and now it's your LinkedIn account, and maybe it's a ribbon cutting you went to, and maybe you were together at an event, a networking event, or the Veteran Shark Tank. So there's different things, and it's all about you. You have now positioned yourself as an expert at what you do, and people want to do business with people who are experts, not people who are or they don't even show up, because if you don't show up, people don't consider you in business. If you're not online anymore, they don't consider you're in business. In fact, that's the biggest danger and caution I tell people who are utilizing only social networks to be able to stay connected with people. Is it's wonderful to have them. There's 250 plus social networks, so you can spend all day there being social, but if it doesn't work in your strategy, if you're not connecting with them, or the last time you posted is the last time that people considered you were in business, then you need to be able to make it a manageable amount that you can go out there and post regularly. So this is how you can start claiming your profile. So I would encourage you to search yourself right now, Google search yourself. And if you don't come up, then you need to find out how you can claim this. So we're going to move on to that next. But I love that people are using the question box. Any questions? All right, and I do want to set the expectation for everybody that I plan to finish by 1 o'clock, but I also want to keep this interactive for you, and I want to be here for you. So as long as you have questions, I'll try to get there, but I don't want to delay our ability to be able to connect with each other and for me to be able to be of service to you. So do make sure you ask questions in the question box. Now, if it is a lengthy question or it seems like something that has nothing to do because you're just with what I'm presenting, because you're just excited to be in front of a Googler, not to worry. I'll save that to the end and I'll be happy to answer that question. As long as somebody's asking questions, I'll hang out here, but I will be respectful of your time. Does that make sense? Deal, everybody? All right. So one of the things that you can do is actually select the veteran-led attribute. And as I said, that's one great way for you to stand out and differentiate what makes you unique. There's a certain loyalty and a rapport that happens when you're connecting, and you know this. That's the reason why you're a part of the Greater Philadelphia Veterans Network, right? There is some support and camaraderie there. So you can add that by going to attributes. Now, once you've claimed your profile, you have the ability to manage it, and you'll see what is known as the dashboard or the back office. And just like any other Google tool, all the navigation happens on the left side. You'll look at the left side, you'll toggle down here to info. You see that there? Once you click on info, this box will actually pop up, and you now have the ability to be able to claim that attribute. And that will nicely show up really high on a Google search, okay? Which is where we want to be. We have to be visible first before we can be valid and valuable to people who want to do business with us. So some of the tools that'll help you with your Google My Business profile. And let me just be very clear. A profile, everything that I'm talking about today is 100% free. I like free or small fee because I'm a bootstrap marketer, and I understand that you are working for your family and your community. So do know that this is 100% free. Do not believe the phone calls or even the emails. I've gotten 4 emails and 2 phone calls within this last week of people who want to say that they're Google and you have to pay for your listing. They'll call it a listing and say, if you don't pay for your listing, you'll lose it. You won't be able to show high up on Google. And for $2.99, $3.99, $4.99 a month, you can pay for this listing and make sure that you are seen. The problem is this profile is 100% free. Those are unscrupulous marketers who are telling you that. Now, can you pay for somebody to upload photos for you, to do a video for you, to write the content if you're not a writer and you'd rather somebody do that? Absolutely. But know what you're paying for. You're paying for the labor. You're not paying for the profile. It is free. So what you're going to do first is you're going to look at your information and look at their business name, and does it reflect exactly what your for the real world, what people know you as your business. You're also going to choose a primary category. And the reason I bring this up is because you're going to have only 3,000 categories to choose from. And sometimes it can be confusing and you don't find the exact match, but not to worry. Choose the one that closest describes your business, because after you've had the ability to claim your profile, you'll now can have the ability to add up to 9 subcategories and your services or products, and that will showcase your uniqueness. Now, also, you can go through here and you can manage the location as well for your Google My Business. So if you are like Joanne and you're not sure if you have a Google My Business profile, let me go back to that slide so you can see. What you're going to do is you're going to go here, Joanne, to google.com/business. You're going to type in your name of your business. It'll start populating everybody that has that name across the country. You're, of course, going to select one for your area that actually is you. And now you're going to start following through the checklist, or actually it'll walk you through and fill in the blanks of how you can claim your profile. Now, if your name doesn't show up there, now you're going to go ahead and put your name in. Do know that once you've done that and submitted it, then you do have to wait to get a verification postcard. So let's stop there for a moment and make sure that I'm real clear, because I don't want you to have any missteps. First is, when you do this, you want to make sure that everything's correct. So do not get the spelling wrong, because understand, once you do this and submit it, if you want to make changes before you've actually claimed your profile and been designated as the owner, now you're going to get in this verification loop that'll take forever, and you don't want to do that. So let's do this work up front, double check our work before we submit it. do know this is going to be a postcard. So do not believe the myths that you can't be home based, or you can't be doing everything from home, like you're taking business by appointment even. You can. You're not going to showcase your actual location. But in this instance, you will be asked after you say, no, I don't want anything published. I don't want people coming to visit my location. Then what you are going to still do is put in an address, because we have to send a postcard with a code to verify it. And it doesn't even look like a postcard. It looks like a W-2 with perforations on both ends. So you might think it's an ad and pitch it, but do know that is the code that you need. And it normally, we say about 4 to 5 business days, but it's really more like 10 business days. So do be patient and look for that, especially if you're in a location where there's multiple people. You might really need to designate, your name as far as the attention of who gets it, as well as the suite number that you have. So if you're home-based, you can still do this, because you're going to make sure your actual address is not showing up on Google Maps afterwards, but you do need an address to claim, and PO boxes do not work. So you want to make sure you have an actual address there. To give you a couple of examples of where or some solutions we found to that. For example, I was working with an executive director of a community theater, and yes, there's a community theater. You can go to the actual theater, but that's not where the mailing address was. They had a PO box. And so what he did is he used his home address as where he could get the actual verification postcard sent. And then once it came to that location, he went ahead and changed things after he was verified. So you can do that to show the actual physical location and show where it showcases on a map. Now, if you're a real estate agent like Joanne, maybe your brokers already claimed the area, but not to worry. If you look, each of your real estate agents operate as also their independent professionals. And just like doctors, you could say you're at, you're at 123 McConaughey Avenue, but suite 100. So Joanne, you could be suite 100. And the other real estate agent there could be suite 200 or suite 102. Really, however you want to designate that. But that way you're still showing up, even though the broker may actually own the location. Now I've got a question here from Shelly. GoDaddy added my business to Google. Can I improve it? Oh, absolutely. In fact, Shelly, you need to own that. You don't want anybody else to own your first impression. So make sure you get with GoDaddy to be able to own your Google My Business profile. And now you can improve it and use it quite regularly, because you want to actually name your location. You saw that in that slide before. So it could be that you're just going to put your address there and drop that. And then you can also designate service areas in a moment. You're also going to want to make sure you update your hours of operation, because when people, especially with all the effort and the different levels that we feel of comfort going out and connecting with others, if they go out now and it says it's open on Google Maps, you're open, and they get there and you're closed, they're not mad at Google. They're mad at you. And this is a part of that first impression that I said is so lasting. So you don't want that. In fact, you might even want to give them more information. A lot of people will absolutely appreciate, and it builds trust when somebody shares information and helps them to avoid any pitfalls. So maybe you have special senior hours to keep your seniors safe, or curbside delivery, or maybe you have hand sanitizer available. So these are some different things that you can do to be able to update those hours and to show specific hours to people. All right, so you also have the ability to come up with a short custom link, which also helps you be branded. You'll see that on that left-hand side. And then, of course, you can add a phone number. And this is key, because Joanne, you know that normally sometimes with real estate and buying of homes, it's the realtor that answers the phone that gets the business. So you might want to have your phone number there, but 2 other people, because maybe you're at a webinar like this and you're taking furious notes, which, by the way, if you want a copy of today's slides, not to worry, drop in the question box your email address and I'll make sure you get a copy of today's slides, because sometimes you don't want to have to do, or you want to use this, and use it like a checklist and not have to do it with me talking in your ear, but you can do this now and follow along. So it's a great checklist. Perfect. I see people already doing that. My products are online only. Should I list hours? Shelly, depending if you have hours, you don't have to. So it's good that your products are online. And are you utilizing Post? Are you using the free website also that Google provides you? So I'll talk to that in just a moment. Now you can put the website here for your actual website too. So you can put your actual website link. It is not bad for your website to show several times on an organic search. Remember, if you dominate the search and it's all about you, then you really have elevated yourself as a professional at what you do. Perfect, Joanne. Thank you. I'm glad it was helpful to you. Now, the business description, this is where you want to make sure that you're really matching, being relevant to what people are searching for. So now it's time to talk to your customers, and it's okay to talk to them. You don't have to just talk to them only when you want them to resubscribe or to sell something. Talk to them and find out what they're looking for when they find you. What is it they need? What is it their problem that they're actually trying to solve? It's really, again, understanding the steps and the process of their decision journey that will help you align with and be relevant to them. And that will dictate exactly what this looks like when you write your business descriptions, because you only have a small amount of time or space to do that, only 750 characters. A character is a letter, a space, a punctuation mark. So you only have 750 of those to make that match. You might also want to put your hours of operation for those of you forming a business, because I did see some of you forming a business. That's great. What you're going to want to do, you can also put the date that the business is going to open. You can put that in. Or if you already have a business, you might want to put that in to show longevity. Again, building that credibility and trust. But do know, if you have a business opening, it won't show up on Google Search and Maps till 90 days before you open. But hey, you've got visibility going now for showing that you serve the area. So that's really good to do too. All right, we got Eric here from G2 Labs. Awesome. Absolutely, Eric, I got your email address too. Thanks for putting it in there, and thanks for finding the question box. Now, also, if you look at that left-hand side, which is where you can navigate all Google tools on the left hand, you will see, and this is the back dashboard. So once you've claimed it, you'll have access to be able to make amendments to this. As you look here, take a good look about, let me see. Let's see, I got a little flash here that there's some audio quality issues. Any audio quality issues right now, everybody? If you'll just let me know in the question box, because it's really important that you can hear these instructions. Just let me know if you can hear okay, then I'll be fine with it. All right. So you also have appointment links. So let's say you're using a tool like a third-party tool like Calendly. You can utilize this to be able to put that link there, and people can now make appointments straight from your Google My Business profile or when they Google and find you. And this is important too, because we want to make it easy for people to do business with us, right? Don't make it hard. Make it easy for them to spend their money with you. Now, if you are a certain business, like let's say a salon, a yoga studio, maybe a therapist or a counselor, you might have the ability to have bookings. So this bookings ability will actually show up for certain categories, certain industries. So you may not see it depending on your industry. And now you're going to connect different tools. There's about 250 plus different tools that you can use to be able to connect here. So people, again, can connect and make appointments and book directly. Okay, so Shanna did lose me for a minute, but Albert is giving me the thumbs up. All's good right now? Everybody still good? Thank you, Albert and Shanna, for confirming. I just want to make sure. Now, for those of you, Shelly, I think, was it Shelly that said that you had a Google My Business through GoDaddy, or they set you up? Perfect, Joanne, thank you for the thumbs up. Yes, Albert, thank you. So for those of you that have a Google My Business profile, are you posting to Google My Business? All right. And the reason I ask that question is because, first of all, post number one, they do help you show up in an organic search. I also know it makes a huge difference if you decide to do Google ads, if you're posting regularly on your Google My Business post. So, we want to get the most bang for our buck. Google ads is a paid service that you actually utilize, but I want to pay the least amount as possible. So one of the ways I can do that is utilizing Google My Business posts by showing popularity and showing to Google that people are interested in what they're looking at and that they're looking for me and my service or solution. But here's the thing. It also helps you become more visible. Not everybody's on all the social networks, right? I mean, I'm a huge fan of all of them, excuse me, but I also know not everybody's there, and I am all about repurposing content. So if I'm posting on any of the social networks, especially, for example, Instagram, if you're posting in Instagram, a video can go in a Google My Business post. You can use 15 to 30 seconds video, and it's the same dimensions as you utilize for Instagram post. You can also put, let's say, a video that you've done somewhere else, or a post that you're using. Maybe you've done a Facebook post or a LinkedIn post. Make sure you show it here, because not everybody is on all those tools, and you want to get where people are. 99% of people, excuse me, are searching on Google. It's the #1 search engine in the world. Does anybody have an idea who number 2 is? but it's the #1 search engine in the world. So you want to show up there. Sorry, I'm in West Texas and wind just blew in. Hold on. I didn't want to start coughing in your ear, but it is spring in West Texas. All right, I see a question here. Sorry. Started creating a profile. Okay, so Eric said he started a profile. He entered a number, but it needed to be a number to be texted at. I'm so sorry about that. And I had everything already entered. Was any of it retained? If you'll go back in there to google.com/business, Eric, I really don't want to cough in your ear. Then what you'll see is you'll see whether or not that information was retained. It may not have been, but it may have. But you do need to go back in there because Google's always saving. So do take a look at it and you'll be able to see. Okay? Good question though, Eric. All right, so how many of you have a Google My Business profile are actually posting onto your profile? I'd like to know in the question box if you're actually posting to it, because you have several posts that you can use. One is a COVID-19 post. So there's a COVID-19 support and update post. And I actually, when I'm talking to businesses who've been in my webinar, they know to utilize this. And the reason they know to utilize this is because, first of all, it is given favor in Google search. It's given a higher, it has a higher priority. So it shows up a little bit higher. And you can do things, for example, I was working with a restaurant and what she posts is she says, you know, Dana and Susie are going to greet you at the front today. We absolutely have social distancing. Plus we have curbside delivery available to you. Today is our special and we're looking forward to serving you. So that's how she uses the post. But again, she wants to show up when somebody's looking for her particular food in her area, or maybe a bagel, right? So it could be that. So make sure you're utilizing this. There's also offers that you can use too. So offers are something, for example, let's say you've got a special offer to the end of May, because today's already the end of April, right? So the end of May, you've got a special offer that you want to share with everybody. It will be visible until that offer actually comes up. So if it's the end of May, then it'll be visible on Google Search and Maps till the end of May. The COVID-19 support and update posts are visible for 28 days, which is big because the what's new post, which is normally what a lot of people like to use to give updates, to showcase different products that's coming in or giving a behind the scenes look, the what's new is only visible for 7 days. All right, so you want to make sure that you utilize 5 to 7 days actually. So you want to make sure you're using some of these other tools to stay visible, or that you're posting regularly, at least every 5 to 7 days, to show up with what's new. And then of course events, for example, Alex, if you wanted to use this to promote the webinar today, it would have been visible until the actual event happened, which is today, April 30th. So Joanne says, okay, I can say I do my first buyers and seller appointments via Zoom, etc. Absolutely. Because people may not understand that you're doing that. And so they've got, maybe their experience has been that they've asked somebody and they don't do that, Joanne. So now they have the experience to see when they're finding you that you provide appointments by Zoom so that they can feel more comfortable. That's a great example. So you can see what the posts look like here. What's new actually looks like this. You've got products, the offer, and of course, actual events. So if you want, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, but if you want to even share out, because I do know you're all about networking here, right? So let's go here. All right, if you're with the Navy and you want to showcase, you know, a post right here, all you need to do is type in a post that you would put, like a COVID-19 post that has something to do with your business. So it could be like Joanne said, I want to help my buyers and my sellers. So I'm not going to limit it just to Navy, because Joanne's got a good example here. So if you want to type this in here, Joanne, and share with everybody what that post would look like, it gets you a little bit more visibility too. But this, you are welcome to type your post here and showcase what it is that you have that helps people feel more comfortable. It could be that you have additional spacing. It could be that you have outdoor dining. It could be that you make sure that, you know, everybody on your team is masked. You check for fever, you do temperature checks. Everybody has gotten vaccinated. It could be whatever, you know, again, your own decision. I'm not going to tell you what you need to put there, but it'll help you get more visibility, right? We are open, masks are still required. That's perfect. So you can say that on your Google My Business COVID-19 update and support update. And that's something that'll show up high in Google search and maps. So if somebody's wondering, now they know. Thank you for playing along here. All right, so what's another one you can do? You can also do what's new posts. So what's new happening in your business? Share what's new that's happening in your business here. So if you got some news, and I know, again, I'm not going to limit it just to Army. Whoever wants to shout out here exactly, what's new in their business, feel free to shout out. And if you want to put the name of your business because we don't see who the post is from, you're welcome to do that too. So what's new in your business that you want to showcase or share with everybody? Because a lot of times we know stuff about our business that people don't know. In fact, we think people know. Have you ever been together with friends, chatting? You could be having a Zoom wine party, game night, whatever you're doing, and then all of a sudden you hear that they're doing business with your competitor, and you're wondering, why didn't you do business with me? And they look at you and they say, I didn't know that's what you did. We need to really get good at being able to share with people what is it exactly that we did. So we've got all homes we list will be provided with plenty of hand sanitizer, masks, and booties. Oh, this is awesome. I love this, Joanne. See, you can include that in your post. You provide drinking water testing. Oh, that's perfect, Eric. See, I would let people know that that's what's new. We also offer hybrid sales training, in person and remote. Perfect there. See, those are the kind of things you can use in what's new post. Just remember, it's only visible for 5 to 7 days. A product post. So if you want to share a product here, what's nice with a product post is you can actually also add a photo, which gives people good visible. Know that the #1 video that's watched on YouTube is what's known as an unboxing video. And that unboxing video is when people actually are videotaping when they're opening something up, they're taking the wrapper off, the bubble wrap, this is where the styrofoam is. And the reason they're doing that is because we're going here first and we want to not make bad decisions. So we want to do a little bit of research and see the product first. And now you can showcase that in either a picture or also a video. So you have that available to you here, knowing that 99% of people are utilizing Google to search. Now, I asked you a moment ago if you knew who #2 is, and I'm going to share that with you. The #2 search engine in the world is actually YouTube, okay? It's the #2 search engine in the world. So because Google owns both, Google and YouTube, it's really important for you to understand how Google's search algorithm works. Right? So yeah, Joanne thought it was Bing, it's YouTube. And a lot of people think it's just a video platform that you can use like Instagram, TikTok, or Snapchat, but no, it is a search engine. And we do an entire webinar. In fact, it's one of my favorite webinars to do to tell people how they can grow their business utilizing YouTube, because it's a great way, especially since we all can't have physical contact like we could before, right? So yep, it's the #2 search engine in the world and the #1 television station in the world. And not only that, it's installed in every single mobile phone, right? So we know when people go there, they go with intent, which makes a big difference how people will actually convert to do business with you. So the Photos tab is also something for you to take a look at. So do take a look at the Photo tab, because this is your visual branding and we're looking for consistency. Do know that in small business, you're going to get bored with your brand and your colors before anybody even notices that it exists. So do make sure that you're being consistent. When they look on your website, on social, and Google My Business, on your LinkedIn page, they see that consistent branding. There's a reason when we're driving down the highway and we see the golden arches, we know exactly what that means. So it's important for us to be that focused. When brands are consistent and they're clear, that builds trust. People like to do business with people and businesses that they know, like, and trust. In fact, they will step over dollars that they could save to do business with somebody that they trust, right? So any ideas on how to use unboxing idea for real estate? Oh, absolutely. So maybe Joanna, you want to show them what it's like to put a lockbox on and what it looks like to take one off, or what the process is of doing that, or how the back, kind of the back, what it looks like in the back as far as staging, exactly what happens. Maybe it's all the paperwork and everything that you do, because they may not understand the entire process, Joanna. And so now you can show them all these things and say, listen, if you're confused about the process and you haven't even decided if you're going to sell your home, come to me because I can help you navigate the process. Look at all these different things and these tools that I can help you with, or the ways I can help guide you and make sure you're not getting into any of those pitfalls. Again, you're building trust, right? So photos, make sure we utilize photos, but we've got to be sharp about our photos. Make sure they're looking really good, giving a good first impression of our business. Again, make sure that we're looking very much, it's giving that good visual look of our business. Now, do know that once you get some customers who are actually now creating user-generated content, that can happen as well. Let me get this off here so it's not delaying us. There we go. So if that happens, sometimes, for example, I was working with a hotel resort and their customers were posting photos of toes in the sand and knobby knees, and that's not what they wanted. Do know that if it's an actual picture, it is a customer doing business with you, you are not going to be able to remove that. But what you can do is dominate by being able to put more photos out yourself, and you do get to choose the cover photo and the logo. Plus, again, if you add more, now more photos that you're actually controlling are going to be seen. Plus, you can add video, and I'm all about repurposing video. I don't like to rework. So if I'm using video on Instagram or TikTok, then I'll utilize it here. If I've done a Facebook Live or a LinkedIn Live, I'll take the 10 to 30 seconds that were the most visible, people were really engaged, or they like that section, and I look at my analytics to do that. Then what I'll do is cut and edit that, and that's what I'll showcase on Google My Business. Okay? Oh, you're very welcome, Joannie. You can also showcase products. So I talked to you about products. You can showcase that there, as well as your services too. So if you don't have any products, not to worry. This is where you can showcase services. And remember, that left-hand side is where you navigate everything. And then, of course, now you did hear me tease about that a moment ago, and I asked that question: how many of you are using the free website that Google provides to you through your Google My Business profile? Okay, let me know in the question box, because the free website is very key. And the reason being, the reason it was created is because we know people are searching for you still. And you might be trying to decide between Square or Wix, or, what am I going to use, for Squarespace, Wix? It could be WordPress, could it be Magento? Am I going to use Shopify? And you're trying to decide all these things. In the meantime, sometimes you get into that state of analysis to the state of paralysis, and people are still searching for you. So this provides you a free one-page website you can use, and it populates instantly with everything that you've already put into your Google My Business profile. But here is also a good marketing tip for you to know, and this is a marketer's insider tip, is even if you have a website, you can use this. And you can customize. You don't have to put what's exactly in your Google My Business profile. You can go in and change the theme, change the color, change the text and the content, whatever you want to, upload photos, upload a video, and now you can showcase different things on your website. This could work like a landing page. So landing pages run anywhere from $450 to $750 a month. And they're part of when people are utilizing marketing funnels to showcase and bring attention to one product or one service or one area of their website. And now they're going to take them directly there. So that is the key. If you're going to put a button here, you can change up that button. It doesn't have to say for a quote or make an appointment. You could say, for example, let's say, Joannie, let's say that you're showcasing the 1, 2, 3 things you need to know and have in place before you can even start shopping for a home. Maybe, pre-approved mortgage, all of this. So you've got something you want them to download. It's a PDF that you've created to really showcase that you know the process really well. You're going to showcase this on your free website. The button is going to link to your website, but it's going to take them to the page of your website that highlights where they can download that PDF. This is key. The number one mistakes businesses make, not just here, but also in Google Ads, is they take them to the home page. Now, if you're talking about, hey, do you want to know the 3 steps you need to have in place, or 3 things you need to have in place for you to start searching for a home and to be ready to go? Here are the 3 things. Or do you know the 3 pitfalls that people run into whenever they're doing their first home search or their first home buy? Then if you take them to the home page, now they're at the home page and they're seeing all these open houses and different things happening, all these different agents, and they're confused. It's just too much information coming at them. If you've ever spoken to a 14-year-old and you watch them bounce around, that's what it feels like to people, and they bounce off because it's not focused. Take them where you told them you're going to take them. That builds trust. That consistency lets them know, listen, they told me on Facebook that they were going to take me to this PDF I can download. They took me there. Once they're there, now earn the right to show them the rest of what they have on the site. And I've sat across from many small businesses, and I am a small business person. I come from that background, and I've heard the argument, I've said it myself, to say, but I've got their attention. I don't want to show them everything. They might be interested in this and this, and so I take them to my home page. No, do not do that. Take them where you told them you're going to take them, and now earn the right afterwards. That makes the most sense. So should I have the free site? Yes, even if you have a website, because there's nothing wrong with all 30 searches in the first part of the beginning of an organic Google search to be all about you. And it could be your free website, as long as it links back to your actual website. So Joannie, yes, I highly encourage you to do that. May I use Google website for my merchant buyers and to use my website for retail buyers? You can do that as well. It doesn't have e-commerce capability though, Shelley, just so that you know. No worries. I knew what you meant. No worries. You didn't scare me at all with your question, Shelley. All right. Your reviews tab. This is also key because I heard many of you say, you use Gary, Joanne, referrals, word of mouth. Well, this is also digital word of mouth. Here are the reviews. Here is how you manage your reviews, because part of Google's algorithm, I told you, number one in the algorithm is relevance. How relevant are you to somebody who's searching? Number two is prominence. Your prominence is your quality score, and this has everything to do with many things from, is your website mobile friendly? When was the last time you uploaded things to your website? Is it up to date? Do you have video on your website? Do you have reviews? Are you responding to your reviews? That is second in Google's algorithm. Relevance is number one, prominence is number two. You do need to have reviews and respond to your reviews. This is what you do. If you're in your Google My Business profile, go to that left margin where you're navigating, you'll go down to reviews and you'll see reviews that you have and you need to respond to. If you want to differentiate yourself from the competition, say thank you for a good review. Only 97% of businesses say thank you. So you don't have to just respond to a good review. Respond to to a negative review. Respond to the good ones, because that'll help you stand out, and it's inexpensive. Yes, it takes time, but you will absolutely stand out. Now, if you're in business any amount of time, you're going to get negative reviews. First of all, you'll see trolls. Those are people with just way too much time online. Not to worry, don't respond to them. Just leave them alone because they have nothing to do with your business. You might even find in Google's terms and conditions for reviews to make sure you know what those 10 terms and conditions are in case you need to ever request a review to be removed. But any amount of time in business, the nature of the beast is this: you're going to get a negative review. Here's how you respond to it. That's not the experience that we want for you. I do want to learn more, but I don't want to jeopardize your privacy. Would you please message me here? And then put your email address or a phone number that they can call, or a number they can text, or your WhatsApp message, or your link to your Facebook Messenger, however they can communicate with you so they know that they're heard, because 3 things happen when you do that. Number one, it takes the conversation to make it human to human. We can be downright ugly if we think we're connecting with a machine. But when all of a sudden we know another human being is listening to us, all of a sudden we can calm down quite a bit. Number two, it takes the fight offline. None of us have the amount of time that it takes to win an online fight. We want to take it off as quickly as possible. Plus, you're truly being honest with them. I work with a lot of banks and credit unions, and because of that, I have seen people who give a negative review. They weren't able to get in the lobby, the ATM didn't work, and now they will online in the reviews, viewable to the public, share their account number, their routing number, and their password. Okay, we don't want to jeopardize any of our customers' privacy and confidentiality. We don't want to be that business. So take it away from them right away and say, that's not the experience we want for you. I do want to learn more, but I don't want to jeopardize your privacy. Would you contact me here? What also happens, the third thing, is a lot of times a bad review or a complaint is just that. It is a complaint just in another format. So you want to be able to address it. And sometimes somebody who could be a potential enemy could be your best advocate, because now you're listening to them and you're hearing them and you're making adjustments. It happened locally with a veteran that I was working with locally. He had a taco stand. Somebody didn't like it. They took a photo. They were negative about it. He used the exact same words that I just shared with you. That's not the experience I want for you. I do want to learn more, but I don't want to jeopardize your privacy. Please contact me here. He was able to meet with this person. He made adjustments to his taco plate. He asked that person to come in and to taste it. And then when they loved it, he gave him 10 free coupons. And don't you know, his name is Mark, the guy who actually was making the complaint. Mark is going all around Texas, West Texas here, saying that he helped make that plate. He became the biggest advocate because the business owner listened. All right, somebody gave me a false negative review, and I responded in a way to correct the problem. They did not respond. At least then, Gary, you've answered, because what you need to know about reviews, it's not just the person who's reviewing, who is somebody that you need to deal with, but it's also all of us lurking who look at reviews, and we make decisions before we even call or click on your website by looking at the review. It's the friends of them as well. Again, it's that nature of the beast, because when we're really, really happy, we tell about 7 to 9 people. When we're really, really mad, we tell anywhere from 11 to 18 people. So again, it's the friends, our connections, as well as anybody else who lurks and finds your actual post or your website or your your review, and now they can see you address it. They know that you're listening, and we all want to do business with businesses that are listening. We don't want to talk to a business that doesn't respond or pay attention to a potential customer or anyone who's talking to them. Does that make sense? So when you manage your reviews, you can use a short URL. I hope that makes sense and is helpful to you. We're going to use a short URL here to be able to do that and be able to take them there. And this is something that you can put at the bottom of your email. That's great, prime real estate, to ask for reviews. You can put it in the bottom of your invoice for your LinkedIn profile, your Instagram profile. You can place it there. You can put it in a post that you're creating. Again, make it easy for people to do business and to be able to review you. The best time to ask for a review is when somebody has just completed business with you and when they're absolutely happy and ecstatic about it. So give them the opportunity to do that. And then also there's the messages tab too. This is another tool that you can use to make sure that you stay connected. Joanna, you might really be interested in this because we know that when people can connect with a realtor right away, that's who they're more likely to do business with. Messages works just like text, except it doesn't reveal your cell phone number. That's the key. So you don't get random text at 3 o'clock in the morning. You can make sure that it's set up with other people at the business. Everybody can respond right away, making it easy for people to find you and do business with you and to ask questions. And again, do not turn this on unless you plan to text quickly, because text is a quick platform. You can't wait 24 hours on text. People have a lot of emotions about people who don't respond to them on text in 24 hours. Now, here's a takeaway that I really want you to focus on, and that is this. Never, ever, ever give your password to your Google account. So a Gmail account, even a personal Gmail account, is a Google account, away. And you can do all this with a personal Gmail account. You do not have to have the business workspace account. But never give your password away, because what happens when you do that is you become equal, or the person who has your password becomes equal to you. They can shut you down and they can shut you out. In fact, what I encourage you to do is to choose roles. If you're used to Facebook business pages, business profiles, you can choose roles. That's what you're doing here, is you're choosing roles. Now, the primary owner is where I like to stay because I want to be in control of everything, but I might name somebody owner. So what that means as an owner is they can do everything that you can do, but they don't have the ability to shut you down or shut you out. The next one I like, which is really my favorite one to do, is use as manager. And the reason it's my favorite is because they can do everything that you can do, but they can't shut you down, they cannot shut you out, and they can't add random people to your Google account, which I like to know who's being added there because, again, this is part of my first impression, and I know how lasting that is. Does that make sense to everybody? And then lastly, I want to make sure we cover this, and I know we're 4 minutes past time. I said I was going to try to get as close to time as I can, and I appreciate you being patient as we go here because we do have allocated till 1:30, but at the same time, I want to make sure that I give plenty of time for question and answers, plus be respectful of you if you have another meeting. I want you to also know this mantra, and this is for anybody who attends a webinar with me because it's a mantra that I think makes or breaks a small business, and that's, if you're not measuring, you're not marketing. $1 or 1 minute, because I do know the social networks take time, but $1 or 1 minute that's spent not lifting the bottom line or making sure that your goals are inevitable is $1 or 1 minute spent too much. I am often asked, especially since I talk to so many groups, they'll say, Maria, tell me the silver bullet of marketing. And the silver bullet is persistency, consistency, but measure your marketing, because if you're not measuring, you're not marketing. For example, you could be doing a lot of posts in the social networks, which is great. It's great that you're posting, but how's that a part of your goal and your strategy? Now, if you know the social networks are rented land, and so therefore your focus, your strategy is to make sure you capture everybody's email address, because you know, if anything ever happens, if that goes down, how am I going to contact all those people again? Now your strategy is, I'm going to capture their email address, I'm taking them to my website, and I have some place where I'm encouraging them to leave their email address. Now I have an actual strategy, and I can measure which actual social tools are delivering on that strategy, especially if I've got a good call to action asking for people to do that regularly on that social network. Well, even here, as you look at your Google My Business, you can find out how people are looking for you directly by your name, if they're discovering for you. So you know, if they find you and they're looking for you by name, that you've done a good job branding your business. When people can do a direct search and they look for your name, that's good. You're doing a good job. All of your marketing is working well together. If they're doing a discovery, it means that they know, for example, you're a bagel company, but they don't know you're ABC Bagel Company. So they're looking in that area, but now you need to do a better job making sure you distinguish who you are. And then also, you can brand things there and see who your actual customer is, what they're coming in, what they're looking for. Are they trying to call you? Are they finding you on maps? Or are they finding you on search? Because when people look for you on maps, more than likely, they're going to come in to see you sometime. So they're doing some of their initial research. And that's what you want to take a look at when you're measuring your marketing within Google My Business. Now, your next steps are to, first of all, go to google.com/business and see if you're already there. How could you already be there if you didn't put yourself there? It could be that somebody checked in to your place and they were actually next door, but they checked in saying that they were at your location and they made a mistake. It could be an old employee. It could be a disgruntled customer. It could be a disgruntled employee who put you there. The biggest problem that we have in working with furniture rental companies is that other companies who know and see that a lot of furniture rental companies do not claim their profile will go ahead and act like they're that company because they already have a profile they put up there. So it's really important for you to claim and own your business profile. Then of course, now you can add all the details, make it very customized and unique. And now you can start taking a look and measuring your marketing to see what's working for everybody. Oh, perfect, Shelley. I'm glad it was helpful to you. I'm so glad, because this is what I want more than anything, is for you to feel like you're getting the resources that you need to be able to be successful. So now is the time to ask some questions, but let me also put this up here before I do that. Hold on. I'm going to go over the additional resources at the very end. So let's say, and they're all free, just so that you know, everything I always share is free. That's what I love to do. But let me share this with you because I want to make sure, if you want to highlight your business, remember Alex said that it's important for us to network, and I want you to network and connect with each other. So feel free to put your name here. You are going to have to write your name. So even if it's you, Joanne, if you type in that you're a realtor here, it won't show your name. So you do have to type in that name, but put this up here, and this will stay up here as we go through questions. Okay. So as we're going through questions, what questions do you have? Feel free to ask in the question box. So Shelley felt like it was a good webinar. Any other questions? Or anybody want to network? And if you go to mentee.com, you can use this to network, because this is visible to everybody since I can't show you the question box. All right, you want to go here. I'm not sure who that is, but you want to go here. I can't write in the box from my cell phone. Oh, Joanne, I'm so sorry. Do you want to just type it here and I'll say it out loud? I won't be able to say links though, because those can get kind of messy. Doug. Thank you, Doug. All right. This is Doug's website. Connect with Doug. Olivia's here too. Oh, I love this. Olivia, I'm a clothing person, so I'm just going to save this and go shop myself and take a look, right? I'm not always in Google t-shirts. Let's see. Eric says, I have a third party register my site, but now I am walking through it again and is letting me register, even sending me the postcard. Am I re-registering or did I mess something up? Eric, you're not messing anything up. If you can, okay, let's back up. First of all, you need to know whether or not you can control it, Eric. So when you go to that profile that's already created, click and see if you can go to the dashboard. And if you can type and add things and edit things in the dashboard, that will let you know whether or not you actually own and have control of it. Because a lot of third parties will set things up, and they'll set things up under their Google account and not yours, so you don't have access to it unless they grant you access. And you need to be primary owner. This is your business. You don't want to lose all the great reviews that you have and the traction, the visibility on Google search and maps. So make sure that you are the primary owner. I require it of everybody. There's a lot of unscrupulous marketers out there, or agencies that just don't know. You know, they just got started and they don't know that they're claiming all of these profiles under their Google account, and it really needs to be under yours. So let them know. That's how we as business owners can make educated decisions too, right? And to make sure that, hey, listen, I know that I don't understand Google My Business profile as well as you may, but I do know I need to own it. That part I do know. Great. We've got George here. We got Sherry Ann. Perfect. Gary here. Oh, I love John Maxwell. He comes here to Midland. That's where I'm at, based in Midland, Texas. He comes here every year and actually live to do a training here. And I love being able to be at his training, Sherry Ann. So perfect. Absolutely. You're very welcome, Eric. Buy your water. So Eric's here. Buy your water leaders from G2 Labs. So it's G2 Labs, the number 2 labs.com. So we've got Eric here, 610-952-5299. Glad to know that my eyes are still working because it's like an 8-point font. I get to see this question box in. So thank you, Eric. I'm glad you shared that. You're very welcome. We've got sales Evolutuan, or is it Evolution? I'm just wondering, because that's unique. I've never seen it spelled that way, but I'm going to go visit all these sites. So please make sure, because I'm saving this all. And just so that you know, Alex, if you want a copy of this to share out with everybody, you're welcome to get a copy of it too. Okay. All right. Any other questions? We are 11 minutes past time, but as I said, past the hour. We actually gave ourselves till 1:30 today. So we're not actually past time, but I understand. You may need to be somewhere. You may need to pick up kiddos, grandkiddos, not to worry. I'm still here, but if you need to go, you're not offending us by going at all. All right, perfect, Gary. Thank you. Gary is making me feel comfortable because he said not to worry about the time. So I appreciate that. I'm here for you as a resource to you. So make sure you use this. I'll flash this in again, and I'll share the free resources to you. Okay. And if you cannot type within Mentimeter because you're on your phone, not to worry, everybody. Just say it out here. Scripture Suites. Okay. We got Shelly with Scripture, SCRIPTURE Suites.com. Holy cow, chocolates. You know, I haven't had a chocolate in like 2.5 months. And I want one now, Shelly. So you've done a good job there. Gary, you're going to get a copy of today's slides, so you'll get my email address and you can reply there if you have any questions, but please reach out to Alex and the Greater Philadelphia Veterans Network. And the reason I say that is because they are Google partners. They actually are there local. They care about your success. They are veteran-led, and they are here to help and support you. And I would much rather you work with them, but I'm here for you. It's just, again, because I am always in webinars and events, that sometimes it takes me 2 or 3 days to respond to email. I'm not proud of it, but it does take me that long. Again, this is a marketing kit. This is a free tool. Remember, I said I'll share free or small fee. This is 100% free. Once you claim and you've created your Google My Business profile, if you go to this website, what's nice is it'll create posts, social media posts. So you don't even have to worry about doing any graphic design. It'll create posts. If you have a physical location, it'll create posters, table tents that you can download, and you can let people know your different attributes. Plus, it'll also help you ask for reviews, and you can highlight reviews. And that's the best time to ask for a review, is when you're highlighting one. So let's say you post one on the social networks or in your Google My Business profile, and then maybe you put a little table tent on your counter to show that. That's the best time to ask, is when you're showcasing, hey, somebody just left me a great review. Then also, you can go to the YouTube channel and go to, when I say YouTube University, that's when you plug in and you look for things on our Google channel and you start looking and learning things there. But if you want quick tips and quick help, so these are about 2-minute type videos that can help you. Maybe you are stuck. You know, you want to figure out, hey, you know, I'm trying to figure out how to put my service location in my Google My Business profile. So you want some quick help there, you can go to this site. And then, of course, every other month, we have our Google G.co Grow on Air. And this Grow on Air is a topic that's pertinent to now. And every other month, we make that available. So do also connect with Alex, because he'll know when the next one is coming up. And of course, this is the hub of everything for veterans that Google has available to you. Okay. All right. Let me see if there's anybody else who's put their link here. Don't see anybody else that's networked with any links. Any questions in the question box? I'm happy to answer them. Anybody? It's pretty quiet. No questions. I've blown you away. Let me just share this with you, because this is often a common question. Different URLs? What different URLs, Joanne? I didn't understand the question. Would you rephrase it, Joanne? I do want to answer your question. So that you also know, the most common question that I see with people as they're starting their Google My Business profile is they'll say, oh, but I serve the whole nation. And I understand that. You do know that Google My Business is hyper-focused locally. That's its superpower. If you try to say that you serve nationwide, saying that you serve the entire US and Puerto Rico and Bermuda and Europe, then what happens is you dilute the power of the tool. There are several other tools that can help you reach nationwide. What I love about Google My Business is, first of all, it's very local, hyper-focused. So I can pick areas locally. Even though I may do business other places, do understand that's the biggest challenge for business owners, is that we want to say we do business with anybody, everybody, and somebody. But when we put that kind of information out there, we usually get their second cousin nobody, because it's just too much. We know too many people. Come on, we've all PCS and lived in different bases. We know a lot of people all over the world. So when we know this, we need to get very focused. It doesn't mean that we can't serve anybody, everybody, and somebody, but we don't want to miss our best customer. We want them to be able to see what we put out there and think, oh my gosh, they get me. This is who I need to do business with. So that's really key for us to keep in mind, is to keep it very focused. Plus, I am a very big fan of nail it before you scale it. You know, I know that nationwide or worldwide, for you to be able to compete, you need a lot of good reviews and a lot of good Google clout to be able to show up there and really dominate those first 30 searches in organic search. So I like to use Google My Business to ask people for reviews, local people even. I could be at the gas station, I could be at the grocery store and say, hey, you know, Bob, you know, we did business a couple of years ago and I'm really trying to build my business online because, you know, everything's crazy right now with everything that's happening, pandemic and post-pandemic with the new normal. So would you mind going here and or me emailing you, and would you provide a good review for me? I knew you were really happy back in the day before we did a lot of stuff online, but I really could use your support now. And once you have 30 great searches behind you and having those stars now show up after first 30 searches, it'll help you even get more credibility, and that truly builds your online consistency and visibility. Let's see, I run a nonprofit VFW that is part VSO, got it. Any way to separate or have two profiles? Walter, you can. Okay, you could say, let's say the VFW, or so the VSO is Suite A. So you're at 123 McConaughey Avenue. The VSO is Suite A or Suite 100. The bar is Suite 200 or Suite B. Separate it that way, but you could still own them both and manage them both from the same Google account. Okay, you're just going to have to denote that separately. And when you get the card, which has the verification code, make sure, double check that you're putting the right one with the right, you know, Suite 100 or Suite 200 or Suite A or Suite B. Okay, just so you don't get mixed up and then in a terrible verification loop. Make sense, Walt? All right, you're welcome. Does it divide the hits to your site and hurt you on standing? No. No, Joannie, it does not. In fact, that's why I do encourage you to have the, first of all, put your website link on there when you do look at additional information, because you do have the ability to put your website link. And then I encourage you to use the free web page, because it's going to direct back to your website. As long as everything's directing back to your website, it doesn't hurt you. In fact, it gives you more credibility and more Google clout, which is what I like. I like to make sure that you're showing up at least in the first 30 searches. In fact, I don't just stop at just showing up. I want you to dominate it. I want all 30 searches to be about you, because I know when that happens, that means you're getting the best visibility and the foot up that you need in digital marketing. You're very welcome, Walt. Any other questions? I'm here for you if you have any questions. Let me see if anybody else has wanted to give a shout out on. Okay, there we go. Let's share that too, so everybody sees that. But any questions? Joannie, mind-blowing. You're very welcome. Now think about what's the one thing that you want to take action on, because this is really key. And again, if you want a copy of today's slides, make sure you drop in the question box, since that's not visible to everybody. I don't feel like I'm giving your privacy away, but make sure that you drop it there, and I'll send you a copy of today's slides later today. And that way you'll have all of this and you can follow along like a checklist. But it is important for you to be visible. This is key, because people can't do business with you if they don't know you exist. And it really is something that, you know, my dad now, he's 83 years old, and well before we all went digital. And when his favorite chair broke, what he did is he went first to his phone. And this was before the pandemic. He went first to his phone. He looked to see who had that same brand locally. What he did after that is he searched and he read who did local delivery, and then he read their online reviews. and that's how he did business, or who he decided to do business with. You see, it's no longer just generational. My dad's 83 years old, and he went first here. He goes here first all the time when he's looking for things. And he looks to me for tech support sometimes, even though I'm not the best tech support. I'm a Google trainer. I don't run Google, but he definitely is somebody who goes online quite a bit. How do you drop? Okay, so okay, perfect. Walt, thank you. Right, Joanne, God bless him, but he does. He goes online, and yes, any of us kiddos, when he can get a hold of us, when mom and dad can get a hold of us, man, they right away, they're like, oh, tech support has driven up. They're ready to help us. Absolutely. I'll send you a copy of this, Marla. You got it. You've got it, Walt. Make sure you get a copy of it as well. Any other questions at all? Maybe even not to that doesn't pertain to this, or just any other Google questions you have, or if you want me to go back into something in depth, because we did cover a lot of information pretty quickly. All right. All right, Alex, I think we've got everybody answered, but as long as somebody's asking questions, I'm going to hang on. If not, I have no problem with giving you 8 minutes back to your day. Gifts of time are always good to have. I do as I'm closing out, so I'm just going to start closing out, but if you've got a question, type it and I will stop. Is there a second level course? Yes, Joanne, actually get with Alex, because there's a course on, so the second level after this is Reach Customers Online. After that, then I highly encourage you to also do Grow Your Business with YouTube. Then after that, there's Better Business Decisions with Analytics, because remember, the measuring your marketing, now that you've got all these tools going for you, and everything that I talk about is 100% free. In fact, I can even share with you how to use Google or YouTube ads for free. So I do cover that in the YouTube webinar, but all of this then is free. Google Analytics is free to be able to see and start measuring. And those are the 4 courses I normally recommend. So it's this one first. Get your local business on Google Search and Maps, followed by Reach Customers Online. And if you'll request this of Alex, then he can request me to come back to cover this. So there's because he's a Google partner, so he can make those requests. So there's Get Your Local Business, which we just did, Reach Customers Online, Grow Your Business with YouTube, Better Business Decisions with Analytics. And if you're doing e-commerce, there is Sell Online with e-commerce that we also do as well. And I'm highly versed in that, because that's my strongest background for the last 12 years has been in e-commerce. But I've got digital marketing behind me, and well before even digital marketing, my background is in marketing, my education all the way around, and experiences in marketing. So yeah, woohoo, Alex, bring them. Yeah. Requested of Alex. That's why I love that the Greater Philadelphia Veterans Network is a Google partner, because he can make those requests. Only Google partners can do that. Let's see. Ooh, Eric, perfect. You found that here. There we go. I'm just going to highlight that, Eric, because it keeps scrolling away from you there, and I don't know why. Oh, it's because I need to hit enter. There we go. Not. Oh, it didn't do it the way I wanted it to, though. There we go. Let's just give you a little props there, Eric. How do you drop your virtual card? Okay. So your virtual card, nice. Thanks for the marketing push. Absolutely happy to help, Eric. So when I say drop your virtual card, what you'll do, Shelly, is you go to ment.com, and then you'll enter this code 3029707. Or here in the question box, since you're utilizing the question box, if you want to type in, all I'm asking for is your name, your business, and your phone number. If you want to put your website address, you can, or a link, but if it's lengthy, it might be hard for me to read through. But do use the question box, because I want to make sure you're getting some visibility out of this, okay? All right. Resume the scroll. Here we go. Any other questions? Okay, so Shelly, perfect. Scripture Sweets. That's right, Shelly, you have chocolate. It's like, now I remember. I found me in Google. Oh, Joanne, I'm so excited. You found yourself. Perfect. That's what you're looking for. Now, how can you make the most of it and make sure you're using your Google My Business profile? Again, we're wanting you to use all these free Google tools to get us visibility. After we use that, that's when we start looking at things that we have to pay for. But let's use all the free tools first and optimize those, because now we've got the strong foundation, right? All right, everybody, we're 5 minutes till time, and I know some people are jumping off, and if you need to, not to worry, you're not offending me. Please stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you for your service. please still continue to wash your hands. It's just good practice, regardless. So again, I'm glad to have connected with you. I appreciate your service again. I've got Marla Fabian here with Awesome Stuff 234. How hard is that to find? Awesome Stuff 234, and that's an antique and vintage furniture, collectibles, and fusion mineral and milk paint. Awesome Stuff -2, is it -234, Marla? Because one time I see you said dash and one time you didn't. So Awesome Stuff -234. Gary, you're very welcome. I'm so glad it was helpful to you, and thank you for asking questions and commenting. Absolutely, Joanne. Stay safe and healthy as well. Eric, signing off. Take care, Eric. All right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and close it out. If no one else is typing, I think we're good to go. All right, everybody. Finish April strong. We've got a few more hours left and start a wonderful May. We'll see you, I hope, at the next webinar, everyone. Take care. Thank you, Marla. Thank you, Shanna.